Google has lofty ambitions for its coming cloud-based game platform Stadia, many of which include giving game developers and players alike the ability to approach video games in a different way. Speaking during the Gamasutra Summit earlier today, Google VP Adam Phil Harrison said that one of the key goals of Stadia is to change the perceived value of games and make games as a whole a more discoverable medium. Discoverability is an important topic for any storefront, and one that many platforms struggle to deal with as the number of games they support increases. To solve this issue for Stadia, Google wants to step away from traditional storefronts and the discoverability issues that come with both physical retailers and digital catalogs. For Stadia, the only storefront is the Internet. He said the Chrome-driven platform gets rid of some of the artificial barriers that have previously been put in front of players, making it possible for players to pick up a game they are interested in or recommend one to a friend, without needing to go to a retailer or wait hours for a game to install. If you find a game you think I will love, I can send you a link and you can play it, he said, calling back to the fact that one of Stadia's flagship features is the ability to jump right into a game with no download or install required. He notes later on that it's a feature that has resonated with publishers in particular, since it offers them a way to close the marketing loop and connect directly with players. No middleman required. We are asking gamers to buy the game, not the platform. Much of what Harrison had to say will sound familiar to those that have kept up with Google's previous Stadia announcements. His talking points, like being able to access games with no download, no patch, no update, and no install, have not changed much in the past month. Many of the topics he addressed during the short talk were missing important context regarding Stadia's business model, which we helped flesh out the other wing's interesting features. Harrison did note that Google has architected the platform to support a variety of business models, but specific information on that topic will not be announced until this summer at the earliest. To date, there's no public word on pricing tiers or revenue share for game devs. While there are many things developers want to know about Stadia, Harrison did say that Google is taking care to make sure that devs are armed with the tools they need to focus less on the technical side of running games on Stadia and more on the creative possibilities that the platform opens up. Part of this comes from the fact that one code base is all that's needed to run a game on Stadia's many supported screen types, be it on a TV, tablet, phone, or computer. Devs will have the ability to tweak certain aspects of each as needed. However, like adjusting certain UI elements when a game is being played on mobile to best suit that experience. He also called out Stadia's State Share feature, the ability for players to share a link at any point in a game that allows other players to load into that exact moment of the game, as something he thinks will inspire game developers to create new and interesting moments and narrative. It's one of the features he says is unique to data center-powered game platforms, and one that offers a lot of room for developers to be creative with game worlds and multiplayer. That is something that you can only do when games are running on the data center. Response fledgling battle royale shooter Apex Legends reached 1 million concurrent players within 72 hours of launch. Each exact Instagram panel broke the news in a short blog post, and revealed the title has also amassed over 10 million players. The free-to-play title, which is set in the Titanfall universe, was unveiled and launched simultaneously on Monday. A PS4, X1, and Windows PC. It put in over 1 million unique players in less than 8 hours, and it is now looking to both Apex and Anthem to deliver the goods after a difficult quarter. Zach Barth announced the creation of a KICKSTALTACAMPAIGNEA today to help fund a book filled with design documents from all of Zachtronics games, as well as unreleased titles. Titled Zach-like, this collection could be a neat opportunity for fellow developers interested in learning about the behind-the-scenes for multiple games, including Shin's 901X Punks. According to the Kickstarter campaign, which has already exceeded its $5,000 goal, the book does not contain much narrative history or any theories of game design, but should be thought of as a record of the Zachtronics design process in action. The 400-page book is also estimated to contain 90% pictures and 10% text, as explained in the campaign. After everyone who backs the project receives a physical copy of the book, Barth intends to release a PDF for free at some point as well. Interested developers can check out the Kickstarter for Zach-like here. The profile of skateboarding games has gone downhill since the heyday of Activision's Tony Hawk's Pro Skater franchise, and even its physics-based skate games. A few trends have affected big brand skateboarding franchises, and one factor may be this is generally, with some exceptions, be a slow transition from arcade fun with simple button presses, translating into stellar tricks to more complicated, harder to grasp systems that exclude audiences who, the other ways, play an easy to learn, hard to master skateboarding game. Glass bottom games. The minds behind the adorable skateboard is on a mission to bring accessibility back to the skateboarding genre by fusing the best elements of pro skater with clothes off skate. We are trying to combine the best parts of both skate and the Tony Hawk games. We want you to roll up a half pipe and have that physical feel that the pro skater games did not have, said Glass Bottom Games programmer and designer Megan Fox. We realized there was this cool middle ground. Skate is fun, but it's super inaccessible to play, and we wanted to mitigate that. The idea behind Skateboard, the charming skater featuring a bird shredding through a tabletop-sized Toy Story-like park, came after folks found a GIF of a real bird skating around on a half-pipe in a mini skate park. Another developer, who goes by the Kevin on Twitter, had created a prototype skateboarding game featuring a bird with no rider. He could not get the human part of skateboarding to feel quite right without looking funky. Fox thought making a bird the focus would allow the game to be a bit zanier without feeling out of place. I contacted him and he loved the idea of a bird on a bird. So I bought what he created and started to incorporate it. Fox said, I decided to just project the bird on top of the board. The board is what exists physically and the bird mostly just tries to follow along in a somewhat intelligent way. Fox describes the player character in skateboarding simulation games as a pin sliding around a skate park. Everything is fake and the entire character is a self-contained element. Skateboard, somewhat similar to skate, is different in that the board acts like an actual skateboard, but the bird, as well as many of the tricks, are faked in order to mix the two approaches. Fox is hoping to connect both types of games with the control scheme. The button-to-trick controls were pretty easy to fuse with actual physics. Fox said, you press the kickflip button and you do a kickflip. You can do several in a row, and then combo them with a grind, just like you would in Tony Hawk. The button inputs are instant with no lag. It respects the inputs you make and adjusts them as soon as it can. A big issue that stands in the way of that simplicity covering the whole game is the more complicated special tricks. Any tricks involving the body in manipulating the board, more so than flip tricks, create an issue with the bird not being an actual part of the board. For example, Stadia, where you make a cross shape with your body, is particularly hard to pull off. Folks said, if your character is a pill shape, then that's easy. But if everything is fake besides the board, then you are moving it into an unnatural position that would be hard to make work. Most of the tricks that bridged combos together in the Pro Skater series are still intact in Skatebattle's grinds.